Hello and welcome. Let's get this game board all set.
Welcome to the Great Debate.
Well, my original two planned guests for today's show did not make it. I'm wondering if I should stop planning for guests and wait and see who shows up in the audience that wants to come in. Maybe I'll do something like that and start doing an audience draw-in game. I did, however, send out another link to a third person, so we will wait and see what happens there. I'm assuming, judging by what I see on all of the screens on my end, that everything is going okay for the audience, however many are watching. Hello, hello, hello to all the waving hands out there. Let's see. I can change this angle around. I'm still trying to play with making this show look really cool. So let's move it around a little bit. We'll change this angle. And I wanted to show this one. Let's say hello to our audience today. Today, so far, we had somebody in here who I don't know if they're still here or they're coming back. But hello, if you're still here, Mario. And Dark Sasuke, one of our previous guests for the show. Obviously, she seems to love it. She comes back every time, even for a little while. I always appreciate it. And as usual, if guests do not show up to my show, I have no problem at all playing with the audience. The audience likes being played with. No comments? Nobody in the audience has anything for me? Oh, that's sad. Alright, well, how about this? I will throw some tune on and we will let the audience pick a topic, however few or many there are in here. You can feel free to pick one of these things off the board. Oh, hello Mario Bell, and welcome to the show. I hope you like your new blueness. I do award wrenches to the first so many people. I think once I hit like 200... Whoops, that was supposed to be off. And now I will turn it off. College it is. The first 250 people to subscribe to my channel, when I hit that mark, I'm going to stop handing out free wrenches and start giving them to guests that come on the show. That'll inspire people to want to come on. So, let's get rid of that horrible low music that I created for this, and we're going to talk about college. With more classes being taken online, what is the need for multi-billion-dollar tax-funded campuses? So this is a very important question, as I've driven by a lot of universities that seem to almost never stop adding on to the size of their campus. And I think to myself, how much of that money is coming from taxpayers contributing to state funds? And I can't figure out how comfortable I am with that much money being spent on these new buildings when Also, I'm not sure how much it would cost to retrofit old buildings. A lot of the people I talk with, including a few members of my family even, tend to take the online courses because they're easier. There's less schedule involved until it comes to like the test taking, and then you have to make sure you block out enough time to do certain things. There's flexibility in when and where they have to go. I want to say one of my family members told me he had to go into like the school 3 or 4 times the whole semester, which is pretty cool considering he only had a couple of classes. I remember driving to my classes before this whole online thing picked up when I was younger, and I literally spent an hour and a half to 2 hours one way on the way to one class because it wasn't at the local college, so I had to go to a college farther away. How many people in the audience here have any college background, have any experience with going to traveling to school or taking online classes? Which one's more prevalent? Hands-on jobs, nursing, auto repair, etc. If you need to actually be in school physically, then just do it online. Yeah, exactly. And I'm noticing you took an online class, and I'm betting it was something like business or a math or something like that. I mean, there's very little. I know Gutenberg mentioned maybe being a doctor or something would require you to take the class in school. Other than that, I don't really, auto mechanic maybe, but I can learn some of that stuff right on my phone. So do I need to take an online class for that? Or not an online, an in-school class? And higher education is difficult. What do you... I went to college for a couple semesters. I took what I was after, what I thought might get me somewhere. I don't know. Medical billing. Most of that's bookwork. Tests, numbers, figures, trying to figure things out. It's hard to decide. I probably could have done most of what I did in college, even back then, through online courses and done a better job, except in 1 or 2 lab courses where I could have gone to school less and they wouldn't have taken as much school space up with the courses that I had to take. So they wouldn't have had to remodel. There we go. We have a guest. We're going to go. Is it Sprint or Verizon? Can you hear me now? Hello. I have Mr. Jake T.S. Speed or Anthony. I don't know what's going on. He's here, but not here. Okay. Most of it was learning codes and how to specifically file insurance claims. Yeah, I did hear about that. Like medical transcription and medical billing is a lot of, well, this is a CO 139 and you got to bill it under here, or the insurance won't cover this, and the medical won't cover that, or not Medicaid won't cover that, It makes some sense, but you have to wonder to when does that become too much. I heard noise. There he is. He's coming through. Click, 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 click. That's not me clicking. Click. I bet you he can't hear me yet.
It's sorry. I was having problems getting onto Hangouts.
Oh, I know.
Again.
Not to debate from college, unless anybody else has anything to toss in there. Getting onto Hangouts today, I was running into a lot of problems. In fact, I'm not sure if I'm missing updates to something or if something updated and another program hasn't, but I've got some things that are refusing to shut down properly now. I've got some things that are refusing to open properly now. I've got no ability to screen cap my Google Hangouts. I lost that somewhere in some update. And so I can't show my guests on my game right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been quite difficult this morning.
Hi, Doc Suzuki. Suzuki?
Sasuke.
Sorry.
Yeah,
My
I know.
apologies.
I ran into that too. I made sure we got it completely correct the day I had her on the show. All right. It's going to be a short show possibly today. We'll see how it goes. I've been helping a buddy move, but he ran into some problems yesterday, so I spent a good part of my afternoon yesterday helping him, and then I'm going to, as soon as this show's over today, I'm going to head his direction and give him a hand. That's why my phone was in here dinging. If anybody's wondering, is my buddy's off and working already. He's 2 days behind his normal schedule, and I told him I'd help him without a problem. So,
can I ask you a quick question, slightly off topic? Any news on the FISA memo? Is that getting released today?
I was heard. My English spoke well. I did hear that it was on his desk among a few other things, and they were looking to see if it was getting released today. I didn't watch a whole lot on that this morning. I tried catching up on some of what happened yesterday evening because I'm a person that gets up really early in the morning, so I tend to pass out sometimes watching a stream at like 8 or 9. And I don't make it through as much of the night as I used to. So I get up in the morning and I start a few devices and I try to get through as much of the content of the people I want to see as possible. And then also watch a few clips of some of the videos that come out during that day. And then there's catch-up work and the news to watch. And then I've got game show questions to put in because yesterday's show, I apologize for that sound. That's my furnace blower. It's annoying, but it does keep me warm. Filling in the questions, our show ran for so long yesterday. On Wednesday, I ran through so many questions that I almost had to rewrite everything for this board today. And I'm just sitting here like, what is there to, great, this is going to be a fun day. That was my morning at about 5 o'clock. I'm like, this is going to be a fun day. Because I didn't get a chance yesterday to fill him in. I was helping my buddy with his house, and I came back and I had my stuff to do here. And you know how it goes. Life just overwhelms you sometimes. Okay.
So was Failure meant to be joining us as well?
Say that one more time.
Was Failure meant to be joining us as well?
Failure was supposed to join me Wednesday. He overslept. He said he'd catch with me today, and I did catch. I do blame Gutenberg for the bird. I can't speak today. He did say he'd catch me today, but then when I woke up this morning, I realized they were playing Friday the 13th until a few hours ago, so I really don't expect to see him today. And if he happens to catch my show, I really don't have a problem with that. I just want everybody who watches, listens, or, you know, gives any potential credit to this show to realize that I am after guests. I invite the audience of everybody's chat, the chat to people's live streams. I invite people on Twitter. I invite people across Discord. If you can talk to me, which you can if you have any platforms, send me a message that says, I want to be on the show, and I will ask you when. I suppose now is as good a time as ever to announce it, but most people do know I'm an at-home dad, and this is something I'm just doing as a hobby while my kids are at school, in between cleaning the house, among, you know, real life whatnot. So I am going to try and add another airing of the show, and it is going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which is, I want to say, 7 p.m. Greenwich Time over in Britain, and it's like 11 in the afternoon on the West Coast, so people that don't get to catch my show earlier in the day might get a chance to catch it a little later. I know it's not the greatest additional time to throw in there. Some people would like it later in the day, but I want to run another hour. I might change up the board for the second airing. I don't know yet. I'm still working on the best way to keep this going and give more people a chance to get involved with it. So I say this again, if anybody wants to be on the show, almost everybody that's been here says it's a great time. It's just something stupid to let time go by, but it is entertaining and fun for the most part, and I encourage you to come on, have a chat. You never know if you're going to end up with something stupid or something that's real down to earth and we need to put some real time into, like Gutenberg did to me the other day. So, if you enjoy the show and you want to be a part of it, I appreciate that. Just get hold of me and come on. With me rambling on and all that BS. Make me want to cry. No. Would you like to pick something on the board?
Since it's quite topical at the moment, government, I suppose.
government. Why does it seem the only thing being spoken about from the news and government is collusion?
Because they're trying to find any way to impeach Donald Trump.
But there's lots of other stuff going on. Why does it seem like the only thing it is mudslinging from one side to the other about them colluding with somebody doing something wrong, and then it coming back on them saying that they're colluding with one side and doing something wrong? And
part of the issue is that all the investigations into collusion between Russia and Trump have shown up actual collusion, seemingly, between the Democrats and Russia, possibly. So it looks like by them constantly spouting about Russia and collusion, they've dug themselves into a hole.
I agree. Don't get me wrong. I think the point of this question, again, trying to fill the board back in, why is it the most important thing? There is other stuff worth doing. There's other stuff going on. There's laws and actions and rulings that are being passed, and it doesn't seem that they give the same time and momentum to those. It's all about, well, oh my God, how bad is it that Donald Trump said he wanted to unify the country and improve our roads and infrastructure for the citizens before the people that aren't citizens yet? That's horrible. How dare you be so unfair to the people that don't legally live here? How dare you be so terrible to the Americans that don't have money, that we have to make sure we make them feel they have to live off of and we provide for them? You know?
Yep. No, I absolutely agree. I think, as I said, I think part of the problem with collusion, why everything seems collusion, is because the left are driving the narrative. And they saw the collusion as the most likely way of getting them impeached.
Yeah. Everybody's thinking that that's the best way to throw the other side under the bus for something they're doing. Well, here's something just off the wall and dumb. Why are they all colluding amongst themselves within the government to not let the government properly move? I did hear one of the things that Trump threw out there was a limit on chain or family migration, which is limiting it to if somebody moves here for a job, they can bring their spouse and children over. And one of the arguments was, well, what if they move here and they have elderly parents that they want to bring? Okay, well, stop and think about this for a moment. Once you're an immigrant and you live here for a period of time, you then have the right to bring more here. When is it okay? And I didn't like, this is one thing I didn't like in the argument. It was a good argument by Tucker Carlson in one of the clips that I saw. But one thing I did not like was Tucker used the percentage. And he fought so hard on the percentage and not the actual volume of. And I think it's more important to look at the numbers of people coming in under what means than it is to look at the percentage that that number occupies. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, so if 70% of your immigrant population is coming, legal immigrant population is coming from family chain migration, if that 70% is only 1,000 people in a country of 350 billion, or billion, million, I'm really out of it this morning. But 1,000 is a whole lot smaller than 100,000 or a million coming in under that number. So what that number is more important than what the percentage of that number is.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying there?
Oh, yeah. No,
I don't want to argue it on the fact that I don't think that they should bring the family in. I think that you should be a family should be allowed to bring in so many members over such a period of time. And if that period of time needs to be extended for that number of family members, then that's what we need to do, as opposed to limiting the family members itself.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
Yeah.
would be a better way to go about it. With the buzzer, we're going to look. Sasuke is very, very active in the chat, and I also appreciate that. It's to distract. They don't want us to know what the truth is. The truth is Trump's an alien, 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 alien. Go back to bed and the talking try again. I read that right. Try the talking. Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know what the stars are. Don't mislead me, please. I can't handle it right now. Alright. Oh, let's move back to the board here. Let's not go through it as fast as we did last time, but we'll just slowly enjoy it. If you get hypers, we'll take it for a few minutes, but that's all. No more.
Okay. Movies.
Movies. I try to get creative, so I hope these are fun. Would a public-funded video production company work? Maybe a public-funded collaboration video.
That depends on who you've got.
Okay, so we all know that maybe not myself, or maybe not many of the people that I try to or happen to talk with, but there are people online who can do awesome jobs. Look at what Undoomed, Suit Yourself, Gary Orsum. Look at what they can do with computer graphics. They're so much better than even I am, and I'm nothing. And
yeah, but it's not necessarily just about that. It's about organization.
okay,
You know, for instance, you wouldn't have Based Mama doing it, would you?
absolutely not. I would not. But if enough people that were, and some of these people do this as a career, if enough people were actual professionals and they got together and created a small online business, it would, something like doing it by Netflix, except it would have to be a crowd-funded business where those of us who watch these shows or these creators online go, yeah, he is awesome at what he does, and he's in charge of the visuals, and Suit Yourself's voice is awesome, and he's doing this character in this movie. And, you know, we keep hearing all this stuff, and, you know, clips of Golf City gaming and Golf City streaming, or whatever their main one is. The Golf City cartoons are going to be involved in it for like collaboration videos, and things across the internet are going to happen in the video to promote creators on the internet. If you started a company and it was crowdfunded by the viewers, then would that be something that would not only entice the viewers but the other creators to want to partake in and create something that not necessarily belonged to any one person, but a bunch of people could contribute what was there, and a collaboration could be made and an actual long video released to the market for that to come back and make them very small increment of percentage off of that? Do you know what I'm saying? It would, it would have to be elaborate and intricate, and it would have to be, you know, there would have to be some type of organization behind it. But
I think your biggest problem with anything that's public funded, especially something like a movie, a movie studio, is any profits that are being made. Because it's public funded, what do you do with that money?
It would have to go back out to the people who took part in it. All right,
yeah,
and when I'm not talking a studio.
You would have to be completely open. You'd have to be completely transparent. It would have to be everything.
Everything would have to be listed live right on the account, except for the numbers that the account is in. I mean, you're talking like a lot of, I could not do this. I couldn't run this, and I personally wouldn't appoint anybody to do this. But that would be cool to see stuff that other people do online, making it into something big screen and universal.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see
But
the chat's moving over here, and my bots are kicking in on it. Uh, the stars in my the stars is my tablet censoring a cuss word. Lol. Oh, darn tablet. Philip DeFranco. I haven't looked into what he's doing. I, from time to time, binge on a couple of his YouTube videos, but I don't look at the network he's put. Oh, I kind of had an idea of what he was doing, but I'm not sure if it'd be like Philip DeFranco. Twitch streamers are already doing this in VR chat, creating movies from the scenes they're creating in VR chat. That would be interesting to look at. I'll have to go take a look. It has all the software you need, just bring your personality. Okay. But I'm talking, you take a few people who write scripts and you have them sit in chat rooms for several weeks or whatnot, and they develop a script and submit it into, let's call this quotation mark organization. I'm going to take the time off the clock here. Let's call this quote mark organization. So you have a few people write a script for a long movie. They submit it to quote organization. A couple of people who are editors go through it and they edit it out, and you figure out what the postscript is going to be for the video. And then you find somebody who's just like a freelance small-time director, or a couple of them on here. And then you go through and you find a few people to collaborate on each sequence of creating this video. Then when you get to the production stage, everybody has seen what's happened all along and how it's coming. You get to the production stage and you find producers to put the video together with the crowdfunded money. So you'd have to have an accountant make sure that everything was done according to what you funded, because you cannot spend over what you have. If you think that you're going to need more, that's all up to the crowdfunding, but that money has to be visual all the time to everybody putting into it and everybody paying attention to this whole sequence. As it goes through every step of the process, and most of us know most of these steps, but I don't even know all of them, to create a video in Hollywood, from the writing of the script to the editing of the script to the hiring of the actors and the manuscript. And you'd have to get YouTubers that literally go, yeah, I'm willing to put in this for almost nothing down just to make sure that this comes out good. You'd have to get people that like creating videos on YouTube go, yeah, I'm pretty good at what I do. Let me put a little time in for investment to see if it pays off for me in the long run. And then once you go through and detail this whole process, you get a couple people that sit at home and edit these videos, and they go through and edit this whole thing down. And then it gets released to that page for a reasonably thin fee, because it's all been crowdfunded all the way through. So if it's released for like $5, you got a, let's say, hour and a half, 2 hour long video that's $5 off of a site that everybody watched it produce all the way through. And it involves people that we all know and associate with, people that put in on it because they wanted to, and they're in it, and we can see all that happened and how it worked. And then when it comes to paying out, each position and the number of people put in would have to have, it would be a fractional amount. But you multiply that by the number of people that go across and say, this has these creators in it, this was done like this, let me check that out for that little amount. I would buy a movie for $5. Why not?
It also depends on what the movie is going to be based on as well.
That's true. And you would know what that would be early in the stage.
At the end of the day, I mean, going into the politics side of things, if you're producing a film which is, I don't know, anti-SJW, yeah, considering some of the left's tactics, you can pretty much guarantee, because of your transparency, every single one of your donators, contributors for cash will be targeted and possibly doxxed. That's an extreme example.
Yeah. There would have to be safeties. A mass scale version of Magod collaborations. Magod just has an example. Yeah, it would be something like one of them is done, except it wouldn't be the clips or series kind of thing. It would be it would be a whole different type of video. It would be, what are they called? Freelance videos? There's another word for them. The ones that aren't at Hollywood, they're not premiere videos.
Indie.
Yeah, indie
films.
videos is another thing they're called. There's a whole bunch of names for these almost second-class videos that people make that aren't actually all that bad. And it just seems
really
like,
good ones out there.
yeah, it just seems like with all of the talent in some creators, it wouldn't take but 50 to 100 of the right creators to do the right things and then cut it together into an awesome video, and people would be able to read it from the conception, the first script written by the writers, to the edited script that's going to be produced into the movie, to, oh, here's a few images and stills of, from what's being created right now. And, if it was done right, it could still be done with transparency while hiding the necessary things we'd have to of people involved if they wanted to be, unmentioned or however. That could probably be done. But that would be an awesome video just to see people that we watch on a regular basis and other YouTubers just somehow collab into this, like editing and CGI graphics done by Undoomed and Suit Yourself and a couple other people from across the web, all putting in their different, I can put in an hour here giving you a hand,
Yeah.
Something like that would be kind of cool to see. It would be like a year-long production to get a video out, but that would be kind of neat. Death of Hope is a fan-made Warhammer 40k animation film made by 12 people that's better than a Hollywood one. I don't think I've seen it, to be honest. That cost millions. We're reaching the point where skills are becoming common. Right. So if skills are becoming common, why aren't we seeing more creators start to work together? I don't want an hour-and-a-half movie of The Great Debate. A 2-hour show was kind of tiring. But let's say all it would take for me to be satisfied and I'd throw half of whatever donations, if any, I got, or a few bucks here or there if I had it, into a video if on one TV somewhere in the background one of my clips was playing from this show. Do you see what I'm saying? That would be marketing for me. I'd be willing to put in on that for a long-term investment. So I put in $100 and the investment is 0.001% and I get a dividend check for a couple years for, another $100 a year or something. Okay, cool. I made my money back. But I got a little exposure at the same time, which brought attention back to my channel, or however that would have to go. But that's where I'm going, is why don't we start trying to do self-sustaining stuff in ways that other people haven't done yet? And it's been done in other ways for games like Warhammer, as Ragnar says, but has it been done with us creators on YouTube? That would be interesting. I ramble.
I don't think it could be.
You don't think it could happen on a scale like that?
Not with some YouTube creators, no, because ego will get in the way.
But it wouldn't be any one set or any small group that would do the whole thing. It would be a small set all along the way, organized by somebody separate that does it separately. So you'd take people that do other things as a profession for the profession that they do. And you literally break it down to you only do what you're good at or what you need to put in on. And you make it a mess. You know what I mean? You'd have to have somebody delegate, down things, but
I don't think it would. I think you'd find that certain content creators couldn't do it because of ego. I'll give you an example. Sargon.
Okay.
I think Sargon's ego is so bloated, it's ridiculous.
Okay, and if his ego got in the way, then why would you want him in that? That if he wanted to be in it, he'd either conform to what was being laid out or not be in what was laid out and do something separate on his own,
I only used as a
No, he is a perfect example. Somebody going, well, you asked for me, Or I'm really good at this, so I'll come in here and show you how it's done. And that would be, well,
That's
yeah,
exactly what would happen.
You're really good at
exactly what would happen.
You're really good at that in the field that is in. So you do that really good in that field, and then this person will tell you what have you did is worth using on the next step. Nobody
The problem
would
is you'd have so many people thinking they know better than the other people, that all you'd end up is a bunch of people bickering all the time. It's just the nature of the beast. But
I still think, depending on how it was done and how well it was done, it probably could be done if it was done right. But I guess that could be argued against me, and that is the whole point of this show. So pick the next topic.
You would have to keep the group small. The larger it gets, the worse it gets.
Right. It would have to be a couple people at each stage working through the stages, and a couple of people in charge of making sure each stage worked.
Yeah, that's why the Ghastly and AP cartoons work, because it's only those two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next. Jeez.
We'll get
politics.
one more, and then we'll see how.
Go on, go for politics. Let's have a look what politics says. Come on.
Is there too much incentive for career politicians to stay in office for personal benefit? It's hard.
Yes.
It's a yes and a no, so go ahead and go over the yes.
Well, first off, I think that all politicians should have a limited term, not just like your presidents or prime ministers or whatever. They should all have a limited term so that incentive disappears.
I did think about that question. So, when people say limited term, that really doesn't prevent career politicians. When you run for a limited term, you are limited to that term in that office. But any smarter person would start in a lower political field and work their way through offices on their way up a chain. So I think that limiting the amount of term in an office will just change how people work through their political career to move from smaller offices up to larger offices until they hit something that they can advance past, which could take 20 to 30 years in some places.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about.
You're
I'm
right.
talking about
The terms,
a certain level, like in your case, the Senate and the House.
Right. Limiting them to like 2 or 3 terms for 6 years as opposed to.
Yes. Yeah.
And I perfectly agree. And once they've been there so long, you can almost feel that they're looking out for their own interests, because it's not about expediting stuff for Americans. It's about, okay, let's see if we can fit this into that bill as a clause of, or, let's finagle or rewrite this to allow for that later. And it stops becoming, okay, well, I got elected to bring down taxes, and, I'm being paid to increase taxes. I look at them and go, you've just been there too long. But then think about people who've worked in multiple offices, and they've worked their way up through, the House and the Senate, and, ran for president. Those kind of people. And we have one right now who's stepping down in several months to go back and try to become a judge. Not that I'm saying that's bad. I'm just saying that you get these career incentives for them to stay somewhere around the high-end political field, because they're not only making their income, but they're also making incentives from other businesses and conglomerates that are pushing for what they're after.
There's too much scope for corruption there.
Yeah, the longer they're there, the more you feel like their possibility of them being corrupted by other things is inherent instead of just possible. All right, let me hit up this chat real quick. I appear to be missing some. The Death of Warhammer, I wore that one. The variety of YouTubers is just too wide, plus time zones in real life. Yeah, that's where you get somebody in charge of managing it. The talents are standing out there. Most talent hunted by the corporations, and even PewDiePie has corporate sponsorship, and with that they maintain a level of talent monopoly. Yes, sort of. That's a hard one to go back to. I'm not sure what it means. Good morning, Mr. Bronert. How are we doing? Don't forget the lobbyists and special interest groups bribing him. That's what I mean. They start to expect certain things for doing certain things, and then it's almost like, well, yeah, I make $100,000 a year. That's appropriate, but I also get all these other benefits and health insurance and all of that. One of the things I was thinking about in this morning also is the Democrats in this field. When you look at it, they start to live these lives of, okay, everything is good for where I am, so anybody that makes anything more to me must be bad, and anybody that makes anything less to me must need money. So we need more people making less money so that I can take more from the richer people and bring them closer to where I am, because where I am is where everybody should be.
Well, the whole Democrat shtick seems to be make people dependent on you, then give them handouts so they vote for you.
Right. That's where I came up with that, is maybe the Democrats want so many more people from DACA so that they have under income eligibility to be able to say they need more money, which ends up having to come from the richer people. So they're sore that there's people richer than they are, so the rich people got to come down to the level of where the politicians are, so the politicians are comfortable. And anybody poorer should understand that, because the poorer class in politicians is a larger percentage than the richer class.
Yep.
So they're aiming for a socialist even. Yes, it is a socialist evil. A socialist leveling of the financial field in the United States by using low income as a reason for taking away from the high income to provide. Playing Minecraft. My kids and I and wife are probably going to do that over the weekend for a couple hours. I let my kids choose. They usually pick Minecraft so we can all play together. So that's always fun. A huge issue I start to see is politics being treated as a family business. There's a congressman that is having a family fight because the wrong grandson is going for his office. Yeah. Doesn't that almost feel like, wasn't it aristocratic society? Isn't that what it's called, where you hand down your place to people below you?
Whilst we're on politics, can I just say that I think it's a great shame that Trey Gowdy is moving out of politics.
That's his name, Trey Gowdy. He's moving out of mainstream politics.
He's becoming a prosecutor again, isn't he?
Yes, which means he also has the ability to run and be a judge if he...
Now, in a conspiratorial sense, right, I would love this to be the case, right?
Look at the Kennedys.
He can see what's happening, right? So he's going to try and become a prosecutor so he can prosecute Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And Obama.
Well, we'll see how it all goes with him. That'll start in November this year.
That guy is an absolute beast.
Yeah. He pays attention to those details. And that's what it takes.
He's brutal. Absolutely brutal.
All right, let's go through this. Well, we didn't do much of the board today. I'm going to go a hair bit over time. My buddy's going to be waiting for me in a few minutes, actually. I know he's already ready whenever I am. But I just want to make sure I chat with everybody for a minute, say hello. Again, mention that Tuesday and Thursday I will be airing at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. GMT. That's the time that I came up with. I am working on getting 2 special guests. I'm pretty sure they're not watching because I got a small audience today. No biggie. But I'm hoping to get 2 special guests in here again that I've had on once before. If I can get them in for the hour show, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, I take open invites. It's open call. Whoever wants to get in here. Usually I'd like to have 2 because well, Anthony over here is an awesome perspective. If we had a third perspective in here and I could let two of them go at it and just interject with some fun topic things that I come up with when I make these questions, then it makes it more entertaining to let two people go at it and just throw in some
I must admit, I haven't been complete on the ball today because I've had no sleep at all. So,
all right, I am going to go ahead and run the outro and get out of here because my buddy is looking forward to a hand and my phone just went off. So,
okie doke.
Yeah, I'm sitting here going, what is that noise? My phone is vibrating in the corner. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to hang out with me. I'm not going to cut this one up because it wasn't a long episode, but I hope you do enjoy the short ones. It was Gutenberg's idea to take a few clips down and repost those. And I will chat with you all later.
See you later. Thank you.